Hi everyone, welcome to another video version of the newsletter. This week I'm talking about embracing analog in a digital world. Last week we looked at challenging the second brain concept. Next week I want to do a deep dive into my Obsidian workflow and show you my second brain. On here is a sneak preview, so you can see this is my home page. I've got a space for my journal, a space for all my ideas, and basically it just shows me every single note that I've made, ordered by the most recent, and I can dive into there and have a look at some notes. But that is a sneak preview, and we'll do a proper deep dive into that next week. Before we move on, I want to give a big shout out to Evan Shank. He has got an awesome newsletter, and I was featured in it last week, which is amazing and was a lovely surprise. Head over to evanshank.com and check it out. He's making a podcast slash video. That is his pillar content, which he then turns into the newsletter. It's all about providing business and personal development tips for solopreneurs. So go check it out, subscribe, it's awesome. Let's move on to the Traveler's Notebook. Recently, the YouTube algorithm, it recommended a video to me where a man reviewed something called the Traveler's Notebook. And I was captivated by this concept. It looks simple, it's just some leather with some pages inside. But it's this Japanese style notebook and it promises to grow with you over time. Go check out the video, search for Stuff and Things, Traveler's Notebook, you'll find it. Go check it out. You might be wondering why spend £50 on a notebook or $50 on a notebook? That's insane. Why not just spend £8? It's just some paper, right? And why do it if you've already got everything digital like I have? If you've already got a digital brain, why suddenly go analog and why get this crazy expensive notebook? So I'm going to try and answer those questions for you. Here are 4 reasons why I'm embracing the Traveler's Notebook. One is going back to basics. So as someone who has a day job, which is what I'm doing right now, sitting in front of my laptop here, I can easily spend potentially 10 hours in front of some sort of screen. You've got the laptop, you've got my phone giving me notifications, or I'm just watching YouTube, you've got the TV, you've got video games. You're just bombarded with digital information all day. So I think having a journal, a notebook, something analog will be like going back to basics, something that will help ground you, relax your mind, and take you away from all of the digital world. Reason number 2 is thought expansion. So while your phone can act as a digital notepad, it also offers a world of distractions. You've got an idea that you really want to jot down. So you get your phone out, you think, right, I'm going to open up my notebook or whatever app that you're using on here, Obsidian, Apple Notes, whatever it might be. And then all of a sudden, ding, a message comes through. And it's your partner saying, hey, what do you want for dinner? What should we have? Should we get takeaway? And that thought, that spark of an idea that you had has gone out the window. Or maybe it hasn't gone, but it's definitely further away than what it was before that notification. With a notebook, you can concentrate on capturing the idea away from the digital world, away from all the notifications. It's just you and a book. Here's my idea. Put it down onto paper, and then you've got it. Reason number 3. I like the essence behind the Traveler's Notebook. You can add and remove pages as you see fit. It lines up with the philosophy of essentialism. So if you don't need those notes that you wrote a year ago, take them out. If you have a notepad full of quotes that inspire you, then put those in. You can carry them around with you every day, look at them, and have a better day because of it. So you can personalize this to whatever you want to carry with you. I like that idea. I like that it is modular. And number 4, the notebook evolves with you, evolves over time. I was always put off by the idea of having a physical journal, having this notebook and buying a really nice fancy one, spending lots of money on it, filling it up, and then I go back to the store or the website and then they say, no, we don't have that one in stock anymore. And then I'll have to go find another one. And it seems like such a small thing, so silly, but that's something that sat in the back of my brain. It's like, why would I invest all this money and time into this lovely notebook when I'll have to go do that all again once I fill it up in a couple of months? With the Traveler's Notebook, you keep the same leather exterior. I really like that idea. So the leather ages, you put different notes in there, take different notes out, and then the leather, it gets worn down, it grows with you as a person. It might sound over the top for a notebook, but I really like the philosophy behind it. So those 4 reasons might not convince everyone, and to be honest, they haven't really convinced me. So for the next month, I'm going to be using this Moderno notebook. It was £10, which is more than I spend on paper normally, but I wanted to still have a nice writing experience without splashing out on a £50 notebook. So I'm going to be doing this for a month, see if I like it, and if I do, then I will upgrade and invest in an actual traveler's notebook. Feel free to join me on this experiment. I think it would be quite a cool thing to do together. If you are going to join me on this experiment, this is the workflow that I am going to use. It's in 3 steps. It's capture, curate, and then engage. So capture. This phase involves jotting down everything: ideas, thoughts, notes on a book, notes on a podcast, quote that comes to mind. And if I've got my notebook to hand, I will just throw it in there. Brain dumping, that's another example of this. That's more of a sit down and do it for 20 minutes. So that's step 1. The next step is curating. So this is about organizing and assessing everything that you've written down. Tasks will either be ticked off, or they'll be deleted, or they'll get transferred over to Todoist, which is the task manager app that I use. I'm going to bullet journal inside here. So yesterday, for instance, would be something like Ramona's granny came round, then we went swimming, and then had a nice dinner. Something simple like that. I'll have a look at that, and then I'll put that into my actual journal, which again is in Obsidian. Finally, I want to engage with everything that I've written down. So everything that's in my second brain, I'm going to sit down with it either in the evening or once a week at the weekend. Sit down and really go through all of my thoughts, all my journal entries, and expand on them. I want to connect ideas. So the whole point in having a second brain is to connect ideas together, expand your thoughts, and really just come up with your own philosophy. Like, what do you actually think about different issues? What do you think about life? What are your core values? All of this will help me better manage my thoughts and ideas, and it's a small step towards enhancing productivity a little bit, but also enhancing my core self, I think is the best way to put it. In summary, the idea of a traveler's notebook really captured my imagination. So for the next month, I'll be experimenting with the notebook first approach. It should help me be more productive, help me expand my ideas, and it should also help me not be distracted by screens. The workflow will be simple. It will be capture, curate, and then engage. Come along with me on this analog journey. Let me know what insights you find, and here's to living in a more calm and intentional way. I will see you in the next issue of the newsletter.